right, we're on Uktzim Perak Aleph, Mishnah Bet. Second Mishnah in the first chapter, Masechet Uktzim. We said, just to review, let's make this a little bit bigger. We said that in order for something to be mitamei umitztarev, at the very least has to be a shomer, a guard protecting the food. Okay, for it to be mitamei, if something touches if something touches the food, it becomes tamei. Umitamei, it transfers tuma to the food, and mitzarev to the shiur, the quantity of the kibetza, in order to make the food tamei. We also learned that if it was a yad and not a shomer, meaning if it was a handle to the food but didn't protect the food, then it was just not mitzarev. It can transfer tuma, but it was not mitzarev to the shiur. So Mishnah is going to now start listing all different kinds of foods and giving you examples of things that in all of here we're saying mitaminu mitztarfin. They're all mitaminu mitztarfin, which means that all of them are considered shomer. They're all considered shomim to the pri. So sharshei hashum, the roots of garlic, rabitzalim, onions, kaplotot or cartier, leeks. Okay, so and by the way, just because I say something is an onion, you have them in your mind, you have a certain onion in mind, doesn't mean that that's what they had in their mind. It could have been they meant the long onions with the long greens with onions, as we'll soon see. When they're damp, when they're still damp, so the roots of all those of the garlic roots and onion roots and leek roots, when they are still damp, it really means I think it means they're fresh. The translation says that they're damp. V'apitma shelahem, they're pitma. Now this is a huge issue. What is the pitom of them? Bein lacha, bein yevesha, whether they're dry or whether they're wet or dry, whether damp or dry. Okay? Whatever the pitma is, you have to just sort of leave that. Like the pitam, the Bartanura says, I think, kamin pitma shel rimon sheberosham. It's like the pitma of the rimon at their head. Have shomer umitztaref. Okay, it's the pitma of the onion and the garlic. You have to take a look at what a garlic. So I have no idea. I know these are the roots. Which part of this, how much of this is the pitma? How much of that is considered the pitma? It's like a pitma of a rimon. Is that considered a pitma? Really interesting question what a pitma means. Okay, when they're ben she lacha ben yevesha, when they're dry or not. Ve'amud shu mechuvan keneged ha'ochel. The amud, the staff that's keneged ha'ochel. And here we can actually see it in the garlic. This is the amud. I am to think the pitma is that bottom thing. Whatever, I wrote my thesis on what the word pitma means, but we'll just leave it here. Okay, sharshei hachazarim, the roots of, translation I have here is lettuce, vatsunon radish, vanafus is turnips. Let's look at those in the Jastro. So it's really interesting. Chazeret is lettuce, as it has ramifications for Pesach. There should be a Uktzim. Here we go. Uktzim 1-2, Jastro jackpot. Lettuce, garden lettuce, hill lettuce. Okay, chazarim. That has ramifications for the Pesach night when we eat chazeret. So the roots of the chazeret, vatsanon, the radish, vanafus, let's take it, and we said, and turnips. Okay, all of those things, Dib Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir says all of those things are mitamim, they're all shomrim. Rabbi Yoda, Meir Yehuda says, shoresh tnon agadol mitzarev, the roots of the big radish. Vasiv shelo, siv is its, let's look at the Bartanura, should be tidei rosh tnon noladim gidim dakim. Okay, this large radish had these small sinews, like kmochutim, like strings. And the people that when they sell them, they cut them off. So this sieve is like I think of the sieve of like a palm tree, has this stringy stuff. Okay, so eno mitzarev, the sieve is not considered part of the eno mitzarev is not considered part of the food. It's not considered part of the shomer. One good thing about the internet is, interestingly, maybe the sieve. I'm going to make it a little bigger. Okay, maybe the sieve is this stuff here, right? This other stuff that comes as part of the roots. It's like this hairy stuff. So he says that, I don't know what it is. Anyway, sharshei ha-mitna. Mitna, what's mitna? The roots of mitna. Kach shema belasho belaz. Munta. Uba-arvi nana. Now you know what it is. It's mint. The roots of mint. Va-pegam. Okay, so mint roots and pegam. Let's see what pegam is. The herb rue, I've never heard of it. Uktzim, pegam, pigma, so the roots of rue, v'yirakot sadeh, and vegetables of the field, yirakot gina, she'akaran, l'shatlan, and the vegetables of the field, the vegetables of the garden, that you uprooted them in order to plant more. So you're going to use them as seed. Nonetheless, are they food? V'ashidra shel shibolet, and the spine of shibolet is of grain. V'alevush shela, and its outer, v'akrum shela gerunim mechita. This and the outer shells. Lezer Omer, Reb Lezer says, afasig shel ritzafot. Lezer says, even the cobweb-like waste on the roots. Let's look at the Bartunura. Avak anidbak rosh yirakot. It's like this dust that sticks to the heads of vegetables. V'atzupem kikure akavish, like it's like spider webs. So even the webs that are on these vegetables, hare elu mitamin umistarfin. They're all considered shomrim, and therefore they become kamtameh. They can transfer tuma, and they're mistarfin. All right. If you have comments or questions, you can send me an email or a WhatsApp or a Telegram. I'd love to hear from you. We'll stop here and dedicate only to memory of my father, Arab Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.